Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. I'm going to make this short, a little under the weather, makes me cough a lot, and I know you guys hate listening to me cough and stuff, but with allergy season and everything just kind of hitting all at once, it kind of makes it tough to do a full-length video and not, be coughing all over everyone. So what I did was I thought we would look at Night of Man. This is the solo expansion from Night of Man. I have some components off camera, like I've got my action cards are in a little card holder over here, my AI solo deck I'll have over here. I have the aliens set up with their objectives marked 1, 2, and 3, and also their events. So there's excuse me, an event line of sight here, and there's an event occupied in this building. It's a little farm building, and then we have an event occupied here as well, and then the two mystery markers are set up right here. Then excuse me, in the middle are the initial militia forces, which is 3 infantry, an M60, a Skara, and a Dragon rocket missile team, Dragon team. And it says that reinforcements arrive on turn 1. Now, I've got them, so if I want to move them on, if I play an appropriate card, I'll just move them on because they're reinforcements. But they arrive on turn 1, so I can move my initial forces, or I assume move my reinforcements on. But since they're reinforcements and they come on the west edge, which is over here off camera, you can't see, I'll just pull them on when it feels good. That's what I'll do, With that, excuse me, in mind, I do have my 4 initial cards, and I mean that's set up, So let's play a little bit. Like I said, let me get maybe a turn or 2 and see how it goes. All right, I'm gonna check to see if the aliens go first. I'm drawing off the deck. They have a -2, and there's 2 aliens basically on the board. So you got to draw more than, or get that number's got to be higher than how many you have on the board for the aliens to go. So -2 is less than 2. So the Americans go. Now for future turns, the rule book, and I'm probably just not reading it very well today, but it says that there's no initiative phase. Like in the traditional game, there's an initiative phase where you and your opponent bid against each other, but you don't have that. So it says that unless the rules say otherwise, the aliens have the initiative. But I like the it's like from 65, kind of borrowing it, is you draw that card at the start of every turn to kind of see who gets the initiative. And so that's how this game starts, but it says going forward there's no initiative phase. So I'm going to put that initiative phase in because I like to see who gets initiative. He has a system there, I'm going to use it. Alright, so Americans go first. I do have a move and fire, a rally 2, command ops, reinforcements, a move. Now, I do have 2 fire cards. Each one has power, so I get to activate somebody's power. But none of my people on the board have any line of sight. I had to move them. One difference between this and 65 is that you move individual units. You don't move a square. Like with 65, it's hexes. Here it's a square. I don't have any cards that say activate a square. It says activate a unit. So I have to do a lot of wheeling and dealing to coordinate my movement here with these earth forces. Now, with the fire, I don't have anybody. I would have to do some moves. It's just that those have the power, so if I could shoot, I hate to use those for the move effect, but I do have a move and fire. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to bring my Bradley on, the reinforcement that I mentioned. It's going to have an infantry team loaded in, so they're going to travel down the battlefield a little bit. Now, you can't see me bringing it on, but I can move the Bradley up to 4 spaces because move and fire is you move half and then you fire with -1 high explosive firepower. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. yeah, I just moved him into view of the camera. I've also got him facing this way. The infantry do not have a facing, but vehicles do. They have a front arc, and so I'm moving my Bradley in such a way that this unit over here, this mystery marker, is in the front arc. Now, it says if you have a mystery marker in open line of sight, not in cover, you can reveal it. So I technically should have revealed possibly this marker here as soon as I brought the Bradley on, but I went ahead and moved my Bradley because I would still move it up. I'm going to draw. I got my markers over here for random, so I'm going to grab a random one here. Okay, I drew the standard mecha team, the alien infantry. So that is now revealed, and we're going to shoot. Okay, so looking at my hand, so I already got move and fire, -1 high explosive firepower. Now, the Bradley has a 3 high explosive firepower. This alien has a 1 armor built in. They're like tough targets. Luckily, it's not in cover, so I'm already at a slight disadvantage here. So -1 for the card brings my firepower down to 2. -1 for their armor, that brings the Bradley's firepower down to 1. Trying to do the math. But, there's a but. I do have in my starting hand this card, Selfless. Now, this does not come in the base game. This came with the Kickstarter, and I think you can still order these. If you get like the Kickstarter package, you'll get these cards. So there was like 9 cards that came as an expansion, and this is one of them. Selfless, it's simultaneous resolution. The enemy gets to shoot back too, but I get to add 3 to my high explosive firepower. That's great because I'm hoping in the first few shots I'll get to kill a killer unit, but they will get to shoot back. So I'm going to go ahead because it's a support card. I'm going to play that. So now I take that 1 firepower I had, add 3 to it. So that means I get to draw 4 cards. So my first card, it's a hit with an asterisk, so that's a miss. Okay, so my second of 4 cards is a hit. So that would put a shaken on the unit. Card number 3 of 4 is another hit. So that will also reduce the unit. Yay. This is working out pretty good, Bradley. Thank you. And then my final 4 of 4. It's another hit. That, bam, that erased a unit off the map. But it gets to shoot back. Now, because it's simultaneous, it's going to fire back at its full strength. However, the Bradley is an armored unit. I have no armor ability here. Yeah, this cannot shoot at the Bradley. Like, it can shoot, but it's just going to bounce off. Ping, ping, ping. It doesn't have an anti-vehicle weapon. Well, I mean, it says 0, right? Asterisk would mean none. So it's, I guess technically it has an aiming factor. It just has a 0, but it has no armor. Well, okay, we'll see. Let's play this out. Let's pretend that it could shoot. Because infantry, you know, if you get infantry close enough, they got grenades and stuff. So maybe these guys' high-powered weaponry can hurt a Bradley. I hope not. So, first of all, let's count the distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That targeting of 0 means I have to draw a card and get a 7 or higher on the targeting hit, which I did draw a 6. And if that hit, it would have been a turret hit, and that would have added a point to my armor, which is good because the Bradley has 0 armor. Well, good. That means the alien shot back with whatever weapon it had for potentially shooting an armored target, but it was not effective fire at the range. So yay! That is our first kill of the game. And I'll just put these markers over here, and I'll put that reveal marker back in my random reveal marker bag in case I need that for later. Because if you eliminate a unit under a reveal marker and there's no more units, the reveal marker goes away. Alright, so that was Earth Militia turn. Let me put a fire marker on that Bradley team. Good job. Alright, I'm going to draw my first AI card. First AI card is red circles, red triangle. That's a red triangle. Now the scenario, I'm playing scenario 2 if I didn't mention that, and it says that their initial stance is skirmish, and their stance will change at some point in the game. So I'm going to look at my skirmish line. It says they will fire. Ah, ha ha ha. Nobody fired. There's a big old mountain, and this red line says you can't interact with that. So there you go, aliens. That's a pass. They say, nope, we're going to pass. Nothing to do here. That would bring it back to the Earth Defense Force. Yay. If we charge, we might be able to get some good ground here. So I drew another fire. We got a first fire, critical hit. That's good for vehicles, but there's no vehicles. And I keep my rally 2 in my fire. So another fire. I get a fire with a power. That's good. There's a lot of fire cards in here, but there's never really seems to have enough fire with power cards. So I'm going to move. And it says you activate 1 unit. I'm going to bring on Jack, which is one of my reinforcement folks. I'm going to bring her. Yeah, I know it's blurry. Sorry. She's got 4 movement. I'm bringing her on because she has a power over here called Inspiration on the. I know. Yeah, let me pop up a fancy graphic. Oh yeah, I don't have fancy graphics, so you'll just have to look at this. Her Inspiration power gives like a +1 HEF to like people that are within like 2 hexes of her or something. So she must be. She's got 3 stripes, so I'm guessing she's like a sergeant or something. But I'm going to bring her on. I'm going to bring her on the south here behind the Bradley. 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. 4. I'm just putting her right up here behind the Bradley, so she's got hopefully block line of sight as she advances. Plus, well, I could put her in the space with the Bradley because even though the Bradley's carrying a troop, that still counts as 1 unit. So I'll just bring Jack up. So Jack's there. Hi, Jack. And we'll put a move marker real quick. Ooh, let me check something. Just check something. I had this guy marked as fired for the Bradley. It should be ops complete. So for those keeping track of errors, I think we caught that one early enough. Alright, let me draw the alien. They drew another red triangle. Wow, this is their day. But it does say skirmish and then check for random event. So I flip a card. It says op fire. Nothing's moved. Well, except them, but he's got no line of sight. That's a good card. Like if you move out in the open and there may have been several units that could shoot at you, generally you just check for 1 unit to shoot, usually like the closest. And then if you draw that random event and it says op fire and there might have been other units that could do op fire, then you can have more. So it is a good card, just not in this instance. It's not very good for the aliens. So that puts them on a pass again. So American player, well, I keep saying American, but this is the Earth forces. I drew artillery and a bloodlust. I like bloodlust because I can rally somebody, take the shaken status off, and they don't get marked ops complete. I just take it off. Shaken. You scared them, I take the shaken off, and then I can use them for something. But it comes with artillery. Square and 2 adjacent, 3 APF versus hard target, all hits shake. Or 3 HEF versus soft target, no support except heavy artillery. That's tough. They're in woods. But to drop artillery, I gotta have line of sight. We'll have to refresh artillery. I just don't have anybody, I think, that could see him. Plus, the reason why this is good is because this is in woods. Woods, you don't get cover from artillery because as you get the bursts in the trees, it creates additional shrapnel from all that flying tree, forest, woods, and things. So artillery is good. So let me just double check and see what I need to make artillery an effective tool of our battle here. All right, yeah, artillery. Pretty much what I thought. I gotta have line of sight, then I can call it. It's pretty simple. I just don't have anyone that can use it. So I'm gonna hold on to artillery. I really want to use that. Now I have first fire, critical hit. That's probably gonna be good for a discard. My rally, command ops. I'm gonna discard that. But I do have a fire move. So I think what I want to do is I want to move the M60 has such a slow movement rate. I probably should have put. I could start up adjacent to this hex here. I probably should have started my M60 further forward. But I'm going to activate it for a move. So I'm going to move it 2. It has a leg speed of 2. So 1. You can move diagonal. It counts as 1. So 1, 2, and I'll mark it with moved. And then we'll discard. Yeah, these. Well, I'm going to keep this one for rally. Rally is good. That's a rally 2. So we'll just discard 1. Okay, good. Done. Aliens. Green circle. No green circles on there, so the aliens pass. This is one thing about the game. The alien side, they do a lot of passing until they get more items on the board. So that's not uncommon. If they can't do anything and they can't meet the AI requirement, they pass. And since this is a Earth force is advancing and they're kind of on a defense, it says skirmish, but they're still kind of on the defensive. They're not moving forward on the offense. It makes sense that they would just be sitting back waiting. Just like a human opponent. If I'm defending, I'm going to wait for people to come to me. So this makes sense. But I do got to draw 2 cards now for Americans. So I draw first Americans. For Earth forces, I draw first fire, another bloodlust, which I love, and a fire, and a move. Here's a fire without the power. Alright, I moved the M60 unit up just because I don't know where all the enemies are, but if I pop them on this hill, that will trigger the event line of sight for A, the first paragraph. And I know, because I've played this before, it's going to populate a bunch of aliens out here. So I don't want to put him up immediately because that will make him a good target for all these things. But I can move, I'm going to move some infantry up. They can take some shots. They're there to draw fire. So I'm going to hit move. I'm going to target this unit for the move. He has 3 movement points. So 1, 2, 3. That's his 3 movement points. So first, I'll check for opportunity fire because when you move 2, or at least that's an idea I'm stealing from 65. But he's blocked. Line of sight is blocked. There's this red outline around these buildings. So can't see the troop as he moved up. So safe from opportunity fire. And he gets marked with move. But he reveals the event line of sight A. And so the scenario is going to tell me then, I admit this is kind of cool. You trigger different things and then the story. Each scenario is like a little story. So paragraph 1. Darn it, it's a trap. As you and the rest of your troopers crest the rise, you see at least a platoon of killer vehicles and soldiers. Place the following units from the draw cup in the designated squares. Alright, so for my draw cup, I do have 2 cards to place. So there's a car in F6. So here's 6, move up to F. There's one on the hill. And there was one down here. Oh, B6. B6 here. Just hovering over stuff. Then there's a mecha in E1, one of the robots. E1 here in the farm. He's an objective there. I'll put the objective on him. There's a mecha in D1. Okay, so we've got alien troops here. And The spider handler, his bots will deploy later. They deploy when the handler gets activated. He's not activated. Handler gets F2. Right up here. So all of these troops, alien locations are waiting for me. Great. Now, they will each be assigned a random reveal token, because they're going to have to be able to act from this point on. So for this one here, they get a green triangle. Thank you. That one above will get a red circle. Good deal. And finally, as a randomizer, black triangle. Oh, good. They all have something different. Oh, wait. I got to do the hover cars. Okay. Hover car in the north. You, my friend, are a black circle. Hidden away. And then the hover car down here is a green circle. So you got a nice variety of triangles and circles and colors. Perfect. And they're done. Okay, so Earth forces do not want to discard at this time. So Alien AI says the black circle is activated. Great, we just put one on the board. That's this guy here. Since we are in skirmish mode. Move. Alright, well, I have a chart. Now, the way the chart works is first you look at your card. This came up on 65. Basically, when you draw a card, there's actually a line down here for move. And it says, support cautious. And what you do then is you look at this AI matrix. And it says, where's that? Support, what did I say? Cautious. Support, cautious. So I look under the support, and then I have either cautious or brash. Cautious. So this is support brash, and it, make sure it says, I already forgot, support cautious. It says, if enemy already in line of sight and range, treat as a fire. No, because I've got blocking terrain, I cannot see. Then it says, otherwise, advance to nearest square with either a positive cover factor that places an enemy occupied square in line of sight and range, or B, the closest square that places an enemy occupied square in line of sight and range. Use terrain not in player's line of sight, so that we want to use terrain, providing a positive cover factor. So we're trying not to bring this guy out into the open to get killed. If neither 3A nor 3B are available, stop moving. So he is going to move. Sometimes they say if you can't meet a condition, treat as a fire. He can move. And with a hover, excuse me, with a hover car, he's got a lot of movement. But here's the thing. This is the part that's tough as far as the AI goes. You have to make some decisions. Advance, well, out of line of sight. Oh wait, and positive cover factor. The thing is, a hover car doesn't really get to take advantage of cover. Because a hover car can't move in woods, can move, well, rough. Okay, let's find something that's rough. Rough is the stones, like down here. This would be rough. But none of that is in line of sight of the enemy. Can't move inside buildings, right? Can't go over a wall. Ponds don't give cover. A junkyard. Okay, junkyard. I can move into a junkyard. Junkyard is over here though. Okay, so Earth Defense Forces have a junkyard. Can't move into rubble. So it says if I can't move to a, like, into position or whatever, move it to a spot maybe where I have some cover, then stop moving. But it won't put me in line of sight of anything. Yeah, because see these, well, I'd be above the woods there. Alright. Yeah, so this is a good example of card-driven AI games, right? You still have to make some decisions on what you think would make sense. See, cultivated fields, don't give any protection. They slow like troops down. So I mean, if I move the hover car up and move it into the field, it doesn't give cover, so I would be violating the AI. And I can't move, there's no cover it can move into. So it does say stop moving. So I'm going to treat that as a pass. I mean, I can move it down here, but that's not moving it towards line of sight of enemy troops either. But it puts it in cover. So, alright, I'll do it. I'll move it, because that will help set up eventually to where it can attack. Okay, I'll do it. I'll move it. Now that I've wasted time on that, let's draw Earth. Gets a Bullet Storm, Ambush. Those are both great cards. But I have nobody that can really ambush or move. So, let's see. Oh, well, I have people. I guess, yeah, I have this infantry up here now. He can play artillery. It's just a 3 HEF. Well, it could hurt, but I don't have. Oh yeah, I have line of sight here to this middle. Oh no, they're not on a hill. I guess technically, I guess we don't have line of sight because I have a blocking hill ridge. These are not on hills. This guy, this is where I wanted to drop the artillery originally. I do have line of sight. Normally this building is blocking line of sight, but it's down. So I'm up on an elevated hill. I'm looking over the buildings and can see this unit here. We're going to shoot it with artillery. Now I get to pick an adjacent square, and I'm going to pick this one here. So here goes the artillery. I don't have an artillery buff. There is actually one that is like heavy artillery. It's a good combo, but I don't have that. Now, you pick the main square and then two adjacent, and they get attacked with a 3 HEF versus soft target. They each have one target, so all of the hits I could potentially score will go on the target. Not that I'm going to get much, because, well, he gets one. So that's 2 cards on here, because again, woods don't give a cover bonus versus artillery. So I'm going to draw an action card. I drew a hit. Okay, so that unit is shaken. I'm going to draw one more card. The dud is a word for damage with vehicles, but there's no hit markers. That's a blank. So that's great. This unit is shaken. And because I've hit it, I'm going to reveal it. Oh, there's not much left to reveal. I have a mecha in here. That was the last thing I have to reveal from the reveal pile. So I have a shaken mecha here. Good for him. Now this guy is a different story. Soft target, but he is a difficult target, and he is in a building, and building gives 1 cover factor. So the artillery, I'm going to draw 1 card for the artillery strike. And that also was a hit. So artillery did good. It shook both of those units. Pardon me, that's the cold coming back in. So we might cut this a little short. Now, with the way the activation works for the enemy, if you activate somebody who is shaken, they automatically rally. That's what they spend their turn doing. But at least that prevents them from attacking or doing something like that. That does give me a chance to potentially move some troops up. Alright, so that's the American turn. Now I'm going to draw the AI card. And drew a black circle. There are no black circles, so that's a pass for the aliens. Earth forces draw their first end turn. This particular scenario says at 2 end turns, you would initiate an end turn. We're still right in the middle of turn 1, but I think what we'll do, maybe just kind of get these in 15-minute chunks or so. I don't know how long this has been, but let's just say we'll take a few minutes here. Cut this one for now right in the middle of the action, so we have ourselves some troops moving forward. The aliens have revealed themselves. They've got a nice strong defensive posturing. Some vehicles are back here maneuvering, so maybe they can swoop in and save the day. And our Bradley was the hero vehicle of the moment. It drove onto the board and eliminated a mystery marker before we had to really worry about, well, I think it was a revealed mecha because it was in the open, but we got rid of a mech unit, so yay. Oh, you know, I think what I did was I did a reveal. Okay, alright, let me share this with you. Now, the mecha that I stuck on here is actually the mecha I killed earlier for, I just realized that. I had it next to the board because that's the mecha I killed earlier for maybe like victory points or something in the snare. I killed it earlier, so it wasn't in the draw bag. So when I revealed this marker, technically, there was nothing to draw from the draw bag. I depleted the draw bag when I revealed the aliens and killed this mecha unit earlier. So actually, I'm going to put him back. But if I get, you know, any other draw mecha or something, I have to pull it back. So essentially what I did is I revealed this counter to show that there was nothing here. If you don't have anything to draw from the bag, then the marker's eliminated. So yeah, that robot I drew was one I killed earlier. And so why is that important then? Why didn't I just take the marker off then? Because this marker is still capable of activating and firing. If you think about it narratively, it's representing what I think might be in the woods. And so I think that's the unit that shot at my troops. In reality, it could be one of these other units on the front line. So mystery markers, until you reveal them through combat or move adjacent to them or they move in the open, this is actually still a dangerous opponent. So I'm glad I revealed it, but I just realized I revealed an empty marker because I have all the troops are deployed. So yay Earth forces. That's awesome. So I'm going to put that back with my random reveal tokens. So this is working out even better than I thought. Famous last words. Alright, we're going to leave it here. I've got counted. Well, what did I do? Make sure I do this. So I just did the artillery barrage, and I think I just did the AI. I should probably write this down. So next time when we meet, I'll just pick up with the Earth Defense Forces needing to draw its card. So when I see my 3 cards, I'll know, okay, it's Earth Defense Forces' turn to go. Because I think I just drew the AI for a black circle and there's no black circle. Yeah, that's how good my memory is. Alright team, thanks for checking in, and we'll continue the battle another day.